Okay, we're doing a Muncie 4-speed, replacing bearing seal synchros and third gear slider. Mine happens to be stepped synchronizers, so this is a kit that I need. It does not mean that's what you're going to have. My third gear was 27 teeth, and the slider, see, this is the slider, this is the gear. We get in our kit, we get our gaskets. And our bearings and synchronizers and seals. And I'll let it go. Okay, on our synchronizers, this is what it means by stepped. Getting our ball bearings. Got my synchronizers out here. You get 2 ball bearings and the rest are needle bearings. And it takes more time to put all these needle bearings in than probably just about everything else that you're going to do. And then you got to hope you don't drop one as you go to finally do the final assembly on it. Of course, there's no synchronizer for reverse, so there's only 4 synchronizers in here. The rear seal, there is no front seal. Get all new snap rings in here, new washers. Does not use the speedometer clip, so I'll keep that for stock. Not that I see those very much anymore. New washers. New rings for our, we're going to need these. I don't know. These are our seals for our shifter. Okay, for starters, we're going to need all of our needle bearings. And these 4 rings right here. To replace the 4 that go on this collar goes in first, then we got a row of needle bearings. Then we have a ring, a row of needle bearings, and then another ring on the outside. That does that for each end. Okay, this other row of needle bearings goes in the input shaft, so I'm just going to set them off to the side for the moment. Get you some light duty grease. Grease up your grease this up. And then just start stacking you some needle bearings in there. Okay, once you get you a row of these needle bearings in there, put you a ring in there. And put you some more grease. Another row of bearings. Okay, put your ring in. Slide your sleeve in. Put you some grease. Put a row of bearings. Put your ring. And some more grease. Another row of bearings. Alright, looks like we got a few extra. Now ring here. Now the ideal thing to be would be to have a shaft that you have that's the same diameter as the shaft that goes through here, but instead of being this long, is the same length as this counter shaft right here. That way it keeps everything lined up as you're putting it in. But I don't have that, so I may or may not try to find something to work. I haven't in the past. I've just done it without it, but well, we'll see what happens. Okay, in the back of the input shaft here, we have this cage, and we have these bearings. And just put grease on here again to hold these in place. Alright, I'm missing a couple. They must still be in the package somewhere. I missed them. So I'll just put the other two in there and then slide it in the back of the input shaft. It fell out of the package into the box. Come on now. Here we go. There. Need our output shaft. Put a little grease on here and help things along a little bit. On our first gear. Match up our synchronizer. Make sure it fits well. Okay, our hub goes with the long side down. There is a wire ring in here. You see how the opening is from here to here. We're going to put our opening on this one over here. Opposite of wherever that one is at. Okay, our slider goes on with the long end backwards. And alright, this one does not matter which direction it goes. We have our dogs. We want this side facing in. We want the wires on each side of the cutouts right here. Alright, now get in there. Yep, missed one. There we go. Get that in the center. Alright, these have to line up with the cutouts in our synchronizer. Splines have to spline. And I'm probably going to have to press this in. I'm definitely going to have to press this sleeve in. So I'm going to go press all that in. I don't have a camera out there at the press, so you're not going to be able to see this, but I'll be back when I get this done. Okay, I think I said that this was first gear. It's not first gear, second gear. This is first gear. Still going to do the same thing, make sure our synchronizer fits. Make sure we got the right one. Still got to line up the same way. A little bit of grease is not going to hurt. You can even use gear oil if you want to. We can put this gear on. We're going to take it back off to assemble it into the transmission. Makes it easier. But we can put that on there right now to keep everything from falling off. Alright. We got our third gear. Make sure our synchronizer fits again. Our hub is going to, our slider is going to face out this way. See, our teeth are pretty rounded and got a couple of them that have a little chip in them. Yeah, that one right there. Just not very good shape. Okay, we got our rings again the same way. Here's our opening. We're going to put our opening over here. And we need to scoot that over, but we can actually undo it right now. Scoot that over a little bit. Okay, long end out. Now this one may slide on. It slid off, so we'll see if it slides on. Okay. Since we didn't change the anything other than the gear, and the gear seemed to be the same height, should be able to put the same thickness snap ring in it. So 88 thousandths. You'll notice that the snap ring has a taper to it. You want the short end of the taper facing up towards you. And I'm going to move this over just a little bit. Right about right there. Okay, on our input shaft here, tried to talk the guy into changing the input shaft. He did not want to, so I informed him he's going to have to run a Babbitt bushing out here, because this is just a little too rough for a bearing. So he agreed to do that. This is left-hand threads on this right here. To take this off, press this bearing off, press the new one on, and shall put it back on. Snap ring groove facing up, and you can stake it in place so it doesn't turn back off. Okay, let me get that done, and then we got to put needle bearings in the back of here. Okay, when you put this on, it goes this way. You'll stake it in place, you stake it right there. Okay, on the cover, you just pop your seals out. Go clean all this out. Yeah, clean all that out anyway. There's two sides to it. This side faces up. Once you use something that's the same size as that, put it in the arbor press. Press it down just past this little bevel right here where it's flush with that bevel. It'd be a little recess from the top of here. Okay, normally I wouldn't take all this stuff out, but this arm here goes on the bottom. This arm here goes on the top. And then the spring comes in from the back side. The E-clip holds all that in. Alright, seals are pressed in. Linkage goes in. Fork sits on there. And on the front side is our lever, lock washer, and a nut. Alright, we can final tighten those down once we get all this in. The forks will come back out. If we allow them to. Alright, there is a gasket. I use gasket sealer on both sides of that. Make sure that you do get your gasket lined up in your dowel pin. Alright, in order to disassemble the tranny, there's a pin that goes in here and drive that out. You pull your shaft back, that allows you to disengage the gear on the inside. So we're going to take the lever off the outside here to change our seal. Alright, on the inside there's a spring and detent ball right down in here. So when you push that off, make sure you don't lose that. It goes flying. Spring in our ball. Do the same thing here. Let's pop our seal out. Go press it in. Hit the arbor press. Same way we did the other two. And I'm going to go clean this up a little bit and change the tail housing, bushing, and seal. Okay, put your spring and your detent ball in. Now come on now. You can grease this up if you want to. Once you start putting this in, you want to line the ball up with one of the feed ramps there, or the detent deals there, and then you just get anything that you want. I use a heel bar. Get in there, push down on your ball. That allows you to get it in. Alright, we're going to go ahead and we'll put our lever on that allow us to actuate this thing. Easier when we're going in. You can leave it off if you want to. Press my rear seal in. And we're going to put our piece in that goes on the slider. When we're putting the tail housing on, this is going to slide up onto right here. But for right now, we're just going to put that in its hole. Okay, spread the snap ring out. Okay, you're going to get a new snap ring for here. snap ring groove is going to face up. We can actually grease this up a little bit. It'll help just a little bit. Oh, come on. Do this where it can be on camera. May not be able to be on camera. Just don't want to cooperate. There, it might have a little bit. Tap it in till your lock ring snaps in place. Okay, here we go. There is a gasket on each side. Now, some people assemble the whole thing together and put the tranny together with it on here. Go ahead and flip the shaft over and put this on there. I put it on afterwards. You do it however you want to. So gaskets for here. We have a gasket for our cover. No seal here, like I said. On our reverse idler, there's a washer. It goes, you get a new one. Go ahead and put that on there. It's going to fit in the case. This washer is going to fit on the case back there. These two washers are going to go on each end of the counter shaft. In the main case here. Let's see, what else do we need to talk about? I guess that's it. Let me get the main case over here and we'll start sticking it in. I don't know how good this is going to show up because I don't have a camera person, so let me see what I can figure out. Alright, we'll see how this goes. It may not go well. There's a cutout in your case right there. That's where the washer goes. That's a little tab in the washer. Here's a cutout right here for the washer that goes on the reverse idler. And then there's a cutout back here for this other washer. So I'm going to put some grease on the washers to kind of help keep them somewhat in place. We'll put our counter shaft in, big end of the gear towards the front. Okay, now I'm going to put the input shaft in, and I'm going to have to move it to the hole in the table. I'm gonna put this towards the camera so maybe somewhat be able to see. I don't know why it was being a pain. Happens all the time. As soon as you turn the camera off, it'll go right in. So I put the snap ring on, keeps the bearing from walking in and out. And put the counter shaft in. See if both of our washers are still lined up pretty much. And now the bottom one walked out. So I gotta figure out, may have to take the input shaft back out. Alright. I'm going to take the input shaft back out because my washer fell. And I got to get that back into place, and then once I get that back into place, I'll be back. Okay, finally got it lined up. There's a slot on your counter shaft pin. Make sure it's facing this direction. Hopefully you haven't pushed any roll pins out. Does not look like it. Drive that in till it's flush on here. Okay. Now we can put our main shaft in. Make sure your rollers are in there. Make sure your synchronizer is on the front. I pull the gear off the back so it gives me more wiggle room. Damn it. Alright, put your washer in, line it up, put your reverse idler in. Put your gear in. And let me see. Got going on here. Alright, 180 degrees out. This flat needs to be this way because the housing is going to keep that from turning. So actually I think I'm a little bit off. Alright, I think that's pretty close. Alright, this is what I use for gasket sealer. Put it on both sides of the gasket, on both sides of the plate. And put your gasket on. Alright, I'm going to make sure I can tighten this down without it binding up. Something that's not lined up. Okay, find the thickest snap ring that you can put in between the shaft and the bearing. This one happens to be 96 thousandths. The one that was in there was 92. And we'll see if I can get the 96 in there. Short end of the taper up again, as always. Alright, we're pretty damn close. We're just a tad bit too tight. Let's see if we got a 94. Yeah, there's a 94. Let's see if that works better. Yeah, that's more solid. I like that better. Yeah, that got all the way up in there. Yeah, we'll go with a 94. Okay. Reverse gear. Nope. Got to make sure and get our idler gear in there. And we want our dowel pin or roll pin pointing straight up and down. Alright, on our gear, for our speedometer, we can heat this up. I'm going to put that on right down here. Then on our reverse gear, you're not even going to be able to see it. We got to get our piece on here. And as we're going down, we're going to have to line that up on our gear, line our roll pin up into here, put that down. Once I get that down, because you're not going to be able to see it, I'll be back. Five-eighths on the 3 bottom bolts, 9/16 on the top 2, or top 3, I'm sorry. Got one in the right spot, right there. Long one goes corner over here. Okay, 25 foot-pounds. Okay. Pin that goes in here. Once you push it back in, okay, I'm going to make sure my shifter is working properly before I go and put thread gasket sealer on it. Alright, this should be neutral. It is. Should be first. And we're locked up. Well, I got it in there. Might have missed my reverse. No, okay, there we go. That's first. Second. Third, fourth, neutral, and reverse. Okay, we have everything. Alright, put gasket sealer on that. You don't need to watch me do that. Speedometer. Change out your O-ring. Metal clad seal in here. It does not come in a kit, so if you want it, you need to order it. This retainer sits in that slot right there. 7/16 bolt holds that in. is our bearing retainer. Gasket sealer on both sides of that. Make sure your gasket lines up with your drain back. The drain back needs to line up. Let's see if it's showing up. Drain back hole right there. Okay, that is it for this transmission. We'll catch you on the next one.